Becoming more aware of your own inner self. The title is Our Own Inner Self, not the outer self. So we want to focus on the inner self. And the chapter title is 约道章. 约道章. So for those of you who know Chinese, this caricature of Yue looks like sun, right? Does it look like sun? This caricature here, Yue, it looks like sun. Yu means sun. But if we study the etymology here, we would know that there's another character look like sun, which is this one. Yue is speaking. So when you see the shape, it's more fat and short, it means speaking. And when you see the character is more tall and slender, it means sun. So in this chapter, we would use this caricature. Yue means speaking. So in this chapter, Lao Tzu is talking about Tao, and it's also talking about De too. So talking about Tao, about where does Tao come from, where is its origin, and its essence, the characteristic of Tao, and the function. So here we are in the Tao temple, and we are in this Tao journey. We receive Tao. There's so much talk about Tao, but it doesn't make sense to practice Tao if you don't know what is Tao. So Lao Tzu, he's wonderful. He used this chapter to talk about the essence and the characteristic of Tao. It's great. This chapter, it has a very profound meaning. It will help us to understand what is Tao. So this is the content of the chapter, and we can divide that into 3 sections. The first one is the intro, which is 5 lines. So the intro part talks about the characteristic of Tao, and then it talks about the function of Tao, which is virtue or the De. The second part is the body, and body is kind of long. It also continue to talk about the definition of Tao, and how can we use that De into our daily life. And last, it's the summary. So let's start from the first one. The first one is very difficult to understand, so we will spend a little more time here. There was something being formed. So here we want to look at 3 things here. There was something. What is that something? Lao Tzu haven't given it a name, but it's something, some kind of being. So this something, Lao Tzu is referring that as Tao. He does not want to use the term Tao yet. He wants to use something. And something being formed. So being formed, it's an action, it's a verb. Something, it's mingle, it's form, and there's some kind of things going on, there's action going on. And then when the action is complete, then here comes the third character here, being formed or shaped or completed. So this action, it somehow is being omitted in the translation. So there's 3 things here in this verse. There's something, which is Tao, is being created or mingled or mixed, and then something is formed. So when we look at this image here, the appearance, isn't it true that everything that you see in this physical realm, in the realm of duality, everything has its appearance. And that appearance is formed from something, and that is the Tao. So appearance is what we see, but the Tao is the essence, which is something that we cannot see. Everything is like that. Talking about copper. Copper, what is its essence? We can see that copper can transmit heat. In our house, we use copper repiping. This is the modern trend, copper repiping, because copper can transmit heat. So a lot of contractor likes to use copper. So copper, it has its essence, but that essence cannot be seen. The grass, the plant, if we understand how the plant grows, there's a little vein that is responsible to transfer the nutrition or the water from the ground to the leaf. So it's there. We cannot see it. But as soon as we cut it off, if we cut the plant off, then it will destroy the essence. So we can see that all the appearance, it's born, it's derived from heaven and earth, from the 4 elements. Everything is made out of earth, water, fire, and wind, same as our body. So everything inside the physical realm, there's an essence, but this essence is formless. It's emptiness. When I say emptiness, it's not really empty. It's empty in terms of our senses. We cannot see it, we cannot hear it, we cannot touch it, but it's there. Same thing for our body. We all have a different body appearance, but inside of our body, it's the soul, the Tao that we cannot see. And our body is formed by our parents, right? We are governed by the soul, but anything else besides our body is formed by heaven and earth. So everything we see in this physical realm fall into this image here, and specifically for our physical body, this is what you can see. So Tao is being formed naturally. The essence, there's no beginning. We don't know where it started, and we don't know when it's going to end. We don't know because it's beyond our comprehension. When was our soul being formed? We don't know. When is it going to end? We don't know. It's definitely going to be infinite. When we are asked, when does the Tao begin? We cannot really answer that because there's no answer to it. It does not have a beginning and it does not have an end. So is our soul. Innately, there before the birth of heaven and earth. So Tao exists before the creation of heaven and earth. So is our soul, our essence, our spirit. Our spirit was formed before our physical body was formed. This is not a question about chicken first or do we have the egg first. It's nothing about that. It's about our soul. It's definitely was there before the body is formed. So we can imagine that our soul has been on this universe for millions of years already, and we've been reincarnated many lifetimes, and now we are here. So it's just like we are an actor and we are involved in the movie production many times. So this time we play this movie, and next time we change our character to another avatar, and we change another movie term. We change, so we play different movie each time. So each time we play a role in the movie, it's considered a reincarnation of our lifetime. So Lao Tzu used the term, first of all, 有物混成, 先天地生. So this 先, literally it means before the formation of heaven and earth, but it also have another meaning. And that meaning is that this Tao, it's already in operation before the appearance. In other words, it's in charge of everything. Although it's in charge, but we don't see it. We only see it after its manifestation. And this Tao will definitely continue to exist after the depletion of our physical body or after the physical form. So by looking at this picture, we can see that our body is in the outside realm and our soul is inside. So our body basically have to be intact to the Tao, the essence itself. If the body and the essence are separated, what's going to happen? We will be like walking like zombie. Well, have you ever have experienced that you want to move your arm, but you cannot move? You want to move your leg, but you cannot move. What about you want to taste something, but you cannot taste? Your tongue does not listen to you, the COVID tongue. So I never have that symptom during COVID time. So your tongue want to taste something, but you cannot taste it. So it's same like you want to move, but you cannot move. So what happened then? You want to use some kind of walker, you want to use some kind of support. So you become limpy, you become disabled. So coming back to this picture here, if our body and the Tao is not intact, our body become disabled and we are not living the way that we're supposed to be. So it's important to know that inside of our body, we have this Tao, we have this essence within. So here in this verse, Lao Tzu continue to talk about the essence of Tao. What does Tao look like? First of all, Tao is soundless. silent, it's inaudible, it's in stillness, it's total stillness, and it's deserted. I use this word deserted. It's as if during the COVID time, if we will go to Disneyland, there will be nobody there. And if we see somebody there, it will be like very few. So imagine you go to desert, Mojave Desert, and how many people are you going to see? Probably you don't expect to see anybody. So this is the term deserted here. 寂息寥息. It means it's very quiet. It's completely silent. You don't expect to see any movement at all. And there's no sign of activity. There's no sign of life. It's barren. It's scarce. Jerome asked a great question. He said, so there's no action in Tao? That's half correct, because before the creation of yin and yang, before that, there's the Wuji. And from Wuji, there's some action involved, and that's where the Taiji comes about. So here, Lao Tzu is talking about the Wuji part. It's soundless, it's deserted, it's independent, and it's unchanging. Tao is alone, Tao is independent. This 4 adjectives is talking about this column here, because Tao is independent and it's permanent. Therefore, it totally describes our Tao, our true self, or our higher being. This is our real self. When we talk about something real, that means it's something permanent. Permanent meaning that it will not change, it will not increase, it will not decrease, it will not diminish, and it was never born. And it's something long lasting. So let me ask you a question. If you have a loved one, you tell your loved one, I love you so much, I love you forever. Will that be true? In our current scenario, when a couple say they love each other, so when a couple are in love and they say, I love you so much, it could be not true, because their love still need to be tested. Unless it's being tested, then sometimes it becomes not real. And this happened when a couple, they just meet each other and they are romantic in love for a period of time, until something happened and they realize the love they have for each other is not real. So love really need time to test out. On the other side of the real is unreal. Unreal, it means impermanent, something that will change, and something is illusionary. So everything in our life here is illusionary. But then if we talk to somebody who is not practicing spirituality or who is not practicing Tao, they will say, how can this be illusionary? Talk about our age. We are always aging each year, each month, and even each moment, each second. As I speak now, each second passing by. So that's changing. Our bodily cell is aging second by second. And the Diamond Sutra say it very well. This illusionary phenomenon is like a tiny drop of dew or a bubble floating in a stream, like a flash of lightning. So for those of us who study Tao together, we understand everything here is unreal. And what is real for us? What is real for us is the essence that we have that will carry with us for a lifetime to come, after even our body perish. The next adjective is independent and unchanging. So it's independent because it's unique. There's nothing more unique than Tao, than our soul. We are beautiful individual. Although I say individual because right now we are separated by our physical body, but our soul are actually the same. Imagine you are the water in the ocean. You are the water, but the water is being trapped by a water bottle. So somehow we see that we are different than the other water drop. But as soon as we remove ourselves from the bottled water, we see, wow, my essence is the same as yours. We have to look at it from that perspective. Or let me give you an example on carpet. We all know what carpet is. Carpet is made out of numerous strands of thread. Each thread must be there in order to form a carpet. Together, we are a huge carpet. But if it's missing one strand or two strands, what's going to happen? It's missing. So each one of us, we are in this universe. We play our own role. We are unique in our way. We have the same essence as the other star in the galaxy. We are there to shine our own light. We all have our own responsibility. We play our own role. So together, we form a big carpet. Together, we form the big galaxy. So this concept, the concept of Tao or the essence of Tao will not change. It doesn't matter whether when our body is deteriorating, the content of our essence will still be the same. Next one, encircling continuously without exhaustion. 周行而不殆. I think the key word here is circling and exhaustion. The best way to illustrate this verse is chapter 11. 30 spokes connect to one hub. With the emptiness, it serves the function of a vehicle. So this is a picture of a hub. So what does hub represent? Hub represent the Tao. Tao is inside. It's empty. There's a hole. Can you imagine there's a wheel turning without connecting to the hole? If the axle does not connect to the hole, the wheel is not going to turn. Therefore, that emptiness, it's important, right? Without that emptiness, nothing is going to turn. So the hub represents the Tao. It's empty. It has to be in the center. If it's not in the center, the wheel will wobble. And the 30 spokes, 30 spokes represent our senses, our body, our bodily behavior. And the wheel represent our behavior. So the 30 spokes connect to one hub. All our senses, all our bodily behavior, all our virtue, all our whatever we do, we have to connect to our Tao in the middle. If we don't connect to our Tao in the middle, again, we will be living without purpose because we don't know what we are doing. We are not living according to our inner self, according to our true self. So here, the hub, the essence is empty, and Tao is within oneself. Where is our hub? Our hub is in our heavenly portal. And whatever we do, we have to manifest, express from the Tao within, from our hub. And here, 30 spokes, the spokes represent our eyes, our nose, our ear, and this must be connected to the center. If it's not connected to the center, then we cannot manifest from within. Sometimes we talk about something and say, and maybe I say something wrong and I say, oh, I'm sorry, I was out of my mind because you say something that you are not supposed to say. And sometimes we do something we are not supposed to do. And that happens. And that's because at that moment, we did not do things according to our hub or according to our Tao. So our thought, our behavior should not depart from Tao. And the wheel. So the wheel represents the circling part. The wheel will continue to turn. So continue to turn, it reminds us as Tao practitioner, we want to continue to accumulate merit. Each day when we wake up, we want to remind ourselves, it's a beautiful day. What am I going to do to fulfill my day? Living in the present moment is very important as a spiritual practitioner, us, the Tao practitioner. And we need to continue to turn our wheel, not just talking about how much money I need to make, what do I need to buy for the grocery so that I can put it on the table, but what can I do for somebody? The concept of oneness, it's difficult to comprehend. What about we narrow the perspective to the oneness unto ourselves? I am the one. Although I'm the one, I cannot do so many things for the great universe. But what can I do for someone? What can I do for myself? Someone that I see today, what can I do? I mean, when you think about what can I do for someone, you are turning the wheel. Therefore, circling continuously without exhaustion, you continue to turn the wheel and you know where you are heading to. And you just do it based on your intuition, because you are doing it based on your true essence. It can be regarded as the mother of all things. So here, mother, literally, it means caring and nurturing. We all have our biological mother. But figuratively, what does it mean? Do we respect our mother? We care about our mother? We admire our mother? And because our mother raised us up, we respect her so much. So she's our role model. The term mother, it means procreation. It can all come back to us. Lao Tzu used the term mother. Can I be the mother of my friends? Not in terms of biological mother, but in terms of being a role model, in terms of providing spiritual encouragement or spiritual motivation for my friend. In our lifetime, there must be sometime there are people who want to find somebody to talk. Maybe you are there for that moment and you just open up your ear and just listen to that person, because we all need somebody to talk to, right? So it's this kind of expression that Lao Tzu wants to give it to us. What can we do to shine a light to other people? What can we do to give the warmth to the people around us?
Isn't Lao Mu a mother?
Yes, Jerome asks, is Lao Mu a mother? Yes.
In the Catholic Church, we say the father, right? But in the Tao, we say the mother, which is Lao Mu, right?
Yeah, Jerome has a good perspective. I guess in the Western term, everything has to do with the father. The father figure, our Lord, our Heavenly Father. But in the Eastern spirituality, most of the teaching is about mother or female. Thank you for that perspective. So when we look at this verse here, mother, it reminds us that what are we doing here and why are we born here? What is our purpose? Recently, I watched a couple video on near-death experience. First of all, I don't have near-life death experience, but I want to see what it looked like. So, and also experience like, because so many people talk about it. So recently I come across a video channel. It talks about everything but near death experience. So everything they talk about is not their time yet. So they are being sent back. But after they are sent back, they have a different perspective of life. They realize that the physical life that they have now on earth is not real. And when they have the outer body experience, they realize that is real. That's why a lot of scripture talks about the life that we are here now. It's just a dream, just an illusion. For us who are living on this earth now, you and me, we think that this is real, but it's not real, because everything here is going to change. One day I'm going to perish. One day you are going to perish. So there must be a purpose for us to live here. And those people who have the near-death experience, they explain that their purpose is to shine a light, is to do something for other people, to tell their experience so that other people will understand the physical life that they have on the earth is not real, it's just temporary. I don't know its name, so I named it Tao. This character here, 字, it means to provide a name. 吾不知其名，字之曰道。Lao Tzu does not want to give it a name, but he have to give it a name so that the student or the people in the future generation will understand what he's talking about. So he used the term Tao. And now I look at it, this word is beautiful. Why did Lao Tzu choose the word Tao? He's a librarian and he's so smart. He definitely understands the etymology of Tao. First of all, the Tao, this term has no comparison. So let me jump to this slide first. It talks about Tao is also named great. So when we say great, I mean in Chinese it's Da. What is the opposite of Da? It's Xiao, big and small, great and trivia. And then here it's passing. This word means passing. Passing, what is the opposite of passing? Stillness, right? And then this term remote. What is the antonym of remote? Near. This word return. What is the antonym of return? It's going far. So it's interesting. All these adjectives that Lao Tzu used has antonym, but on this term here, Tao, it has no duality. It has no comparison. There's no comparison of big and small, no comparison of young and old. So this is what I mean by no comparison. And it reflects the universal law. It reflects the human nature. So let me explain to you the universal law here and the human nature. Starting from the universal law, this two Da here, it represents the yin and the yang. And that's what Tao is, because Tao is already named, therefore it's already fall into the state of yin and yang, the duality. Underneath the yin and yang is the beginning, the origin. So can we say that the yin and yang come from the beginning, and the yin and yang return to Wuji? So it will all work. And underneath, it's Zi, it's self. So with the yin and yang, here is the self. So this Tao, it really reflects on the universal law and also talks about the human nature. The human nature is being able to reflect onto yourself. It's our Tao within. We all have Tao within, right? Our Tao is not outside. Our Tao is inside of us. On the last part, this is journey. It means walking. Study of Chinese etymology is interesting. Another way to study Tao is to put everything together on this part. This means head. So Tao is walking on this road with your head. And of course, we understand this head represents the house for our heavenly portal, because this is the most important part. May our Tao journey that we can walk consciously with our head, with our Tao, with our soul, with our essence, so that we can manifest our journey in our life. Jerome asked a question, does each one of them mean a character? Only the first part. First part is not. First part is one Da, two Da. That part is not a character. But the second one, beginning, origin, this one is a character, because in Chinese, E is a straight line. E is a straight line. This is the fun part when we study Chinese. We can take them apart. Sometimes if we cannot take them apart, we can study the pictogram. So in the picture, like the yin and yang, it's a perfect way to explain the pictogram. The yin and the yang, the duality. It's not just one dot, it's two dots. And also on this, the bottom part, journey, walking, this is a pictogram too. Doesn't this look like some kind of path that we walk? Reluctantly, I must define it. I call it great. So why is it called great? Because great, it's huge. So when we talk about this 大, 强为之名曰大, don't think about it's huge. It's beyond huge. It's beyond great. It's not just big. It's humongous. It's so big that it does not have exterior. It does not have boundary. It's so big that it does not have interior, because it includes all the interior and exterior. There's nothing that it does not cover. So there's no exterior, there's no interior. Isn't that huge? It is huge. So it does not have external, it does not have internal, it does not increase, it does not decrease, it was never born, it was never diminished. So that's how big it is. This term Da, I mean, Lao Tzu used the term Da. I want to give you another term in Sanskrit. We heard that in Buddhism term, we heard of Mahayana, Theravada. So Mahayana, Maha means big, huge, humongous, and Mahayana. And then the Heart Sutra, the complete name of Heart Sutra is called Maha. And the first two characters here is called Maha. In Chinese, it's 摩诃般若波罗蜜多心经. So in the Heart Sutra, its complete name, we also use the term Maha. When we study the term Da, don't think about Da as Da and small. It's Da as huge, it's humongous, gigantic. The next term is great. It is continuously passing on. We all have a driving experience. You drive on the freeway and then you focus on the road and the stuff keeps passing on. So it's passing on continuously, nonstop. So this is Tao. Lao Tzu is describing the characteristic of Tao. It's continuous passing on. Just like the sun and the moon, there's a sunrise and then the moon go away. And then the moon come, the sunset. Yeah, it's a cycle continuous on. It never stops. I mean, when we drive, we will stop at a certain point, but the sun and the moon is a better example. The fourth season is a better example. It never stops. So this is talking about our Tao, our soul, our essence. The next one is Yuan. Yuan means far. It's going on expansion. So in terms of our soul, in the universal term, we can see that, oh, Tao is far. But my soul, how can it be far and remote? I want you to think about this. Everything here in this physical realm is division. You are a man, I'm a woman. You are taller than me, I'm shorter. And then I am at a certain age. So we are all divided. First of all, we are divided by our physical space. And we are divided by our thought, our mind, our judgment. Or sometimes I say, I like this, I don't like this. And then you have a different opinion. So we are all divided. But what if we try to be selfless? Get rid of those judgments. I don't have what I like. I don't have what I don't like. I accept everything that comes to me. I accept who you are. I don't judge you as what you look like. You are tall and I feel small. So let's get rid of all that. Get rid of all the limit. Get rid of all the boundary. And whenever you feel sad, I listen to you and I let go of my perspective on you. I let go of my judgment. You and I become one. And you and I become boundless. You and I become limitless. So if I can understand your perspective, if I can understand your story, if I can understand what you are thinking, I let go of myself. And if I can relate that to one person, I can relate that to other person too. And when that vibration goes on, it creates a ripple effect. Then I can extend my essence to other people. This kind of mentality will give us the expansion of our soul. Therefore, the concept of oneness will come under your feet. The term of universe, it's beautiful. Universe. Universe is made out of universe. Uni is one. Verse is song. So we are all singing the song together like a big choir. I have my intonation, you have your melody, I have my melody. We all sing together harmoniously, like a melody, a beautiful song. Imagine to sing together and we all play our role to form a big choir. Same thing for the universe. In the universe, we all sing our song and our melody match each other. Isn't that beautiful? So Tao is everywhere. Tao is continuously passing on. It does not have boundary. So here is the last verse of this slide, becoming remote and it return. So in the previous verse, Lao Tzu said, it's huge, it's passing on, it's remote. So it sounds like it's far away, it's beyond reach, it's unattainable. Yet Lao Tzu pulls us back. Becoming remote, it returns. So whatever we do, we have to come back to us because Tao is within. So this verse tells us how to practice Tao. How to practice Tao is not from other people. We don't look at other people. We don't let the external environment affect us. It all has to come to you. I think in the Christian term, it's called the kingdom of God is within. So some people will say, oh gosh, nowadays the society is in chaos. There's so much disturbance, this and that, pandemic, this and that. That's why we study Tao. That's why we study spirituality. Because everything about Tao, everything about spirituality, it's not about outside of us. It's about what's inside of us. And we can do great things in our life from the expansion of the oneness from ourselves. So this term, 远之返, it means this term here, 返, it means return, origin, root, we think. So look at this tree here. So imagine we are that huge tree. We are growing strong spiritually, psychologically, and we want to reach to our mother Lamu. And we grow tall, but we have to come back to our root. Our root have to be intact. We have to make sure our root is strong, is healthy. So it doesn't matter how big, how tall we grow, all the nutrition have to come from the root. Therefore, becoming remote, it returns. We have to return to our root. Our root is our Tao, our essence. Therefore, the Tao is great. Heaven is great. Earth is great. The sovereign is also great. 故道大,天大,地大,王亦大. Why is heaven great? Using the sun and the moon as an example, the sun will shine on everyone, right? Whatever you encounter. Sun will shine on old person and a young person, will shine on a good person and a bad person, will shine on a murderer and also on a victim, will shine on everybody. And so is the moonlight too. So it's everybody, on an animal, on an insect. Heaven means impartial. There's no judgment. Doesn't judge who we are. Doesn't judge whichever being. And there's a great compassion, and everything is inclusive. And D, why is Earth great? Again, because D is also impartial too. Whatever you pour onto Earth, what's going to happen? Earth will take your trash, right? If you being put on the Earth, it's going to take everything. And the best thing is that the more nasty it is, the more nutrition it will be for the plants. And it doesn't matter whether a bad guy step on the soil or the earth will just accept it. The earth will accept it without complaint. Have you ever heard the earth complain? So earth can give us some cultivation perspective, being tolerant, and also earth is humble. Oh, by the way, sometimes people live in distress. They don't want to live anymore. And they say, oh, what am I used for? How come I don't see miracle? I want miracle in my life. Have you heard people say that? I want miracle in my life. I only see miracle in Bible's time. What about the miracle now? I want to point out to you that the miracle now is every day when you wake up, you can breathe. Have you think about one day if you are on a hospital bed and then you cannot open your eyes, you cannot breathe. At that moment, you will think that when I start breathing, that will be a miracle. If I can see, that will be a miracle. If you can see the sunrise, that will be a miracle. If you see a butterfly, that will be a miracle. There's so much thing that we can learn from the nature. So much thing. Some people, they like to climb the mountain because they see miracle in mountain. They see the wonder of God in the nature. And we also have miracle too. I can speak. I think that's a miracle. Some people cannot speak. Some people cannot hear. And I think I have this miracle. It's happened to me. And I feel life is beautiful. Don't you feel that life is beautiful? So there's so much thing that we can learn from planet Earth. From the soil. Soil is tolerant. It's humble. And can we learn the endurance from Earth? Can we learn? The sovereign sage is also great. Wang Yi Da. So in the ancient time, Lao Tzu really means Wang. Wang means king, the sovereign. Wang literal meaning is that a sovereign in the ancient time. In the Tao study, we know that in the Red Era period, only the king and the sovereign can receive Tao, because the king and the sovereign, they are with Tao. They are the limited individual who have Tao. But now we also have Tao. So are we the future, the present sovereign? So this is where I put the parenthesis. So the sovereign, parenthesis, sage. This can also apply to us. As long as we understand Tao is great, we understand heaven is great, we understand earth is great. Why is earth great? Because I can learn so much from earth. I can learn so much from heaven. So if I can understand all this, I'm also a sovereign too. I'm also a Tao practitioner who understands the greatness of heaven and earth. What does Lao Tzu want to convey? All of us are sovereign in the old time and also in the present time. If we can understand the greatness from the heaven and earth, we can manifest the message from the heaven and earth. We can manifest the compassion. We can manifest the endurance. We can manifest the humbleness of the nature that want to convey to us. So the sovereign can also be translated in a Bible term. Sovereign does not really need to be a king. For example, Jesus was never a king, but in Bible, Revelation 17:14, he was called the Lord of Lords, King of Kings. In India, people call Shakyamuni Buddha. They call him Lord Buddha. Have you heard of it? A few years ago, I encountered a couple of Indians. They call Lord Buddha. I was shocked. And I realized, oh yeah, he's qualified to call a Lord, although he's never a Lord to govern a territory, but he's a spiritual law of all the humanity. And then there's our great scholar of China, Confucius. He was called an exotic king. Confucius was never a king in terms of territory, but he's called exotic king in different era. Exotic king of culture in 739 AD, 1013 AD, and also 1307 AD. So he's called a king in different era too. So when Lao Tzu talk about using the term Wang, it does not really mean that it has to be sovereign. We have to expand the meaning when we study Tao Te Ching. Within the universe, there are four that are great. And the sovereign, parenthesis, the sage, is one of them. So the four, what are the four? Here, Tao, heaven, earth, and this is the little cute guy is you and me. We are one of them. Isn't that great? Within a universe, we are one of them. And it's not what Joanna say. This is what Lao Tzu say. I think this is very motivational. Within a universe, there are four that are great. 狱中有四大, and the sovereign is one of them. 而王居其焉. Here, the Wang is talking about us, the Tao practitioner who can understand the greatness of heaven and earth. Therefore, men follow the earth, 人法地, earth follows heaven, 地法天, heaven follows the Tao, 天法道, Tao follows its nature. So you can see wind right here, wind follow the earth follow heaven, and heaven follow Tao. So the most important message that we want to convey from this image here is men follow the nature, because we are taking this word here, men follow the earth, and by skipping all this, ultimately we follow the nature. So basically we follow everything because earth and heaven is part of the nature. So following the nature is not only the nature outside of us, it's also the nature inside of us, our intuition, our essence, our higher being, our true self. Follow the nature is Wu Wei. What is Wu Wei? Wu Wei is following ourselves, following our essence. Yeah, follow your heart. That's what Jerome said. So I want to give you an example. Sometimes we do things beyond wu wei. For example, later on, we are going to have vegetarian lunch, and I'm going to have the meal in the temple. And if I bite my tongue, which that happens to all of us from time to time. So if I bite my tongue, I will say, ouch, it hurts. So that's wu wei. I'm following myself. But if I go opposite of wu wei will be, oh, I bite my tongue. What kind of food is this? Somebody make this food that make me bite my tongue? Who is the holy chef? Why did I come to temple today? Why did I have this carrot? If I don't eat this carrot, then I wouldn't bite my tongue. Where did this carrot come from? Oh, I'm talking to Mary sitting right in front of me. If I'm not talking to her, then I wouldn't bite my tongue. Why is she sitting in front of me? If she doesn't sit in front of me, this thing will not happen. Why this is so hurtful? If I sit in front of the other person, probably this won't happen. So you see, this is what is wu wei. Wu wei is, oh, my tongue hurts. But when your thoughts start to ripple far beyond your human nature, far beyond yourself, you are trying to ABC, which is accusing, blaming, and complain. When you start to accusing, blaming, and complain, then that's not wu wei, that's not nature. The message today is follow our nature. Do not ABC, because a lot of time when we ABC, we are not following our true nature. In this chapter 25, we talk about the introduction, which is Lao Tzu talk about the Tao, the characteristic of Tao, the function. So this 周行而不殆, circling continuously and be regarded as the mother of all things. This is talking about the function. And the first three lines is talking about the characteristic of Tao. And now here down below is the body. When Lao Tzu writing the Tao Te Ching, he did not really say this is the intro, this is the body, this is summary. But I put it this way because I kind of separated it to help us to understand. So here, this part is the body. This reminds us how to practice Tao. We want to be great. We want to live life continuously, living in the present moment. Don't live in the past. And then we want to be remote. We want to have our soul immersed with the universe and to live a purpose of a life. But eventually we want to return that Tao into us, to reflect onto us, observation, repentance, its own way of returning. And then here it talks about we are part of the universe. Tao is great, earth is great, sovereign is great. So remember when you read this term Wang, you want to put your name in there. Joanna is also great. Jerome is also great. Peter is also great. And here is a summary. So Lao Tzu encourage us, we are the man who follow the Tao, the man who is the sovereign, who is a sage. We eventually want to follow the nature. And that's the message that Lao Tzu wants to convey. Going back to the chapter title, becoming more aware of your own inner self. So again, we want to be aware of our own inner self. It's not the outer self. It's the inner self within. Specifically, it's our essence, our Tao, our heavenly portal. It's the place where your cross resides on your face. So that concludes my sharing session for chapter 25. And I thank your participation. And I also thank the PPT editor, Robert M. Jenko, who helped me to refine my PowerPoint. If mistakes were made or said during today's sharing, I ask for forgiveness from the Heavenly Mother, Buddha Maitreya, Jigong Buddha, Patriarch Sizun Simu, Grand Master, and Senior Master Li and Junior Master Li. Thank you so much. Thank you.